So here we are. This is now the operations phase, and both parties will be spending. So basically what you do is you take one of your supply counters and you swap it to the other side. Oh, it's quite dark. I don't know if you can read this. Basically it then reads spending. So wherever this one was. So basically what this means is when you start spending, you can start using all of the available options in the operations phase. So first you have 10 operations points. Where's my operations points marker? That's odd. Well, never mind. You have 10 operations points. Let's see how many the Viet Minh are going to spend. They're going to spend 2 in the first, and the French are going to spend only 1. Okay, so how this works now is you have different options, what you can do when you're spending. So when you spend, you can do one of the following per operations point, and each operations round has 10 points that you can spend. So you can basically, if you wanted to, perform the same operation 10 times if you're able to do it. So you can do one of the following. You can remove up to 3 DG, so disorganized or broken road markers. You can exchange 1 supply dump that is not spending for 3 trench markers, and you have to bear a couple of things in mind when you do this. You can move some or all units in a hex. You can barrage 1 hex with airstrike and or navy. So basically this is something that only the French player can do. And you can destroy a road. You can barrage 1 single hex with artillery units, which are all within 3 hexes of the spending supply dump. So basically when you decide which supply dump you're going to turn into a spending one, it makes perfect sense to use one that is close to where you want to fight. Otherwise it'll not really enable you to fight. You could still do overruns, but fighting isn't an option then. And attack 1 single hex with troops which are all within 3 hexes of this of the SD being spent. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to do 2 things. The Viet Minh have 2 points that they can spend now. So I'm going to remove this SD and I'm going to entrench troops. So first up I'm going to entrench these guys up here. And that's about all I can do because I only have this one group within 3 hexes of this particular spending, this particular SD that I'm using. So the next thing that they will do is now they will start moving. So I have spent 1 point, so I'm going to cross this one off here. And now I'm going to move troops. And the first troops that I'm moving are these guys over here. They're going to move in here. So that's basically 5 movement points here, and then they are adjacent to this group that we actually want to attack later. So I've spent my second point. So now it's the French. The French will now start doing their stuff. So I will now start attacking. I'm going to do this as follows. I have this particular spending SD, which I'm going to leave here. This entrenched unit is going to attack this stack of tier 1. And how this works is, again, you choose, first of all, you declare that you're going to attack. And you choose then your leading unit. Now, you would like to choose one with a very high morale value because that will give you a lot of advantages later on. So I'm going to choose this. It's got a morale value of 5. Then the tier 1 have to choose their leading unit. Now, you, like I said, you would like to choose the highest one. They're all the same. What we can do now is we can retreat before combat, which is something that we can do because we have the right type of unit here, but we don't want to do this because if we do and we retreat and the French move into this, they will actually take this this particular, oh, this is actually a delta area. They would convert this community into a French friendly one, and we don't want this. We want this one to stay with us, so we will not retreat. I have to count anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're at 8. Yeah, we're at 8, and we would like to get 10. So we're not retreating. So the next thing, and this is something I've never played before, I'm going to ambush these guys. So this is how this works. Choose one full strength French unit, which I have here, and now I roll a die, and I have to roll a die and roll 5 or higher, and I rolled a 3, so the ambush didn't work, so that was that. Okay, so now we have the actual battle. So we start our calculations. I always use a dry erase marker and I write on this plexi because it makes it easier. So we have -1 for the French because between October 1950 and May 1952, the French had some issues with supplies, and the ammunition that they had was somehow faulty or something else was going on. So basically they get a -1 to attacks. The morale differentiator is 2, so that's a +2. The odds are, oh, actually it's a +3 because we have a tank in this stack, so this actually gives us a morale boost, so it's a +1 for the tank. So let's count again. We have 3, 6, 8, 11 versus, come here, 11 versus 6. That's a 1-to-1 odds. And now we're going to roll 2 dice. And we roll a 7. So we add it to the rest. So it's 10, 9. 9 on a 1-to-1. Terrain modifiers, let's see if they are there. Well, they don't really apply because they're both in a clear area and they're fighting along the river. So basically we are now on a 9 at a 1-to-1, and that according to the chart is a exchange, which means that both will lose 1 step. Now, the next thing is, so I'm noting down exchange, the next thing is that we have to roll for disorganization. So I roll for the attacker first, and he rolls a 1. An exchange attacker is disorganized on a 4+, so that's not disorganized with the Tier 1. Also the defender, so no disorganization. So now what we have to decide is we now need to make a decision if the defender wants to retreat after combat. That's possible. If they do, then they suffer 1 less step loss. However, they can also decide to stand fast, and in this case they will lose all steps plus 1 extra step if no attacker is disorganized, and if at least 1 defender is disorganized, and if the defender has lost at least 1 step. Now we're not gonna move because we want to hold this position, and we're going to lose 1 step because that's the exchanged result. We're not going to lose an additional step because nobody was disorganized, and the French also lose 1 step. And if you attack with a tank, then the tank is the first to suffer a step loss. So we're going to do this now. So this is done. All right, so this is done. And that's the end of this particular battle. So these guys have finished what they were doing. They were attacking. And the French have therefore finished their operations. And it's now again the next operations round where we have to determine how many points we can spend. So I roll for the Viet Minh. They roll a 3, which is a 2. And the French roll a 4, which is also a 2. So the Viet Minh go first. So now the Viet Minh are going to do 2 things. They're going to move over here. That's the first thing we're going to do. And the second thing is we're going to attack. So we have spent 1 point. Second point is we're going to attack this trench. So first we have to decide which is the leading unit. That's going to use the morale value to count towards the fight. So I'm going to choose this one here. It doesn't really make any difference because they all have value 3. And here they're all the same as well, 3, so there's no difference. So the morale differentiator is 0 because it's 3 versus 3. We have a -1 for the bad weaponry, a +2, a -2 a +1 for the bad weaponry, a -2 for being entrenched, and there is no problem regarding the terrain, because the terrain, as we can see here, doesn't really influence the result at all. So now we're going to roll, and I can also tell you that very soon I'm going to get a dice tower. It's already in the mail, because of course this is quite problematic rolling here. And I roll a 5. So now we're going to calculate the odds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 13, 19, 25, 25, 31, 37, 43 for the Viet Minh versus 4. That's 10 to 1. So since it's 5 to 1 is the highest that you get an additional +1, and you check on the 5 to 1 scale. So that's 6, 4, 5. We rolled a 5 on the 5 to 1, and a 5 on the 5 to 1 is an exchange. And now we have to make a decision what we're going to be doing. Are we going to move and, move away? Or are we going to stand fast? So first of all, we roll for disorganization. The attacker rolls a 1, so they're fine. And, the defender rolls a 6, so they are actually disorganized. So they're going to get a DG. So now they have to make a decision. They can either, because these are 2 one-step troops. If these are going to stand fast, they're going to lose a second step. In this case, it means that the whole group is going to be wiped out if they don't move out, because they're standing fast. If they do move out, one of them is wiped out anyway, and one of them can decide to move out. And I am actually going to move them out, and they can retreat several hexes, and I'm going to retreat them here to unite with this group here, and they are DG. And now we will move into this area. So we have to make sure that we don't have too many steps. So this one here has actually lost a step as well. So now you can never stack more than 13. So it's 3, 6, 8 are going to move in here, 8, and then we have 9, 12. So we're going to put this one in here as well, and then one from here, that's 13. So this is the maximum number of steps that you can have, and we're going to entrench them. So at the end of this one will be removed. Now what we can do is, in the next phase, we can take these guys across to here, because they're within 3 hexes of this spending SD, and we could attack these guys, and this is probably what we're going to be doing, unless they get to move first and run away. Because we could then move over here and make Nasan our own, which means we would get an additional highland community, and we would also get 5 victory points. So that's actually quite a good idea. So we're probably going to get these guys to move in here and get rid of these guys. Okay, so that's then all we could do in this operations phase for this particular area. And now it's again rolling. It's now the French, and the French have 2 points as well. So what we can now do is we can now make a decision. For example, we could say we want to get this one back, and we could do this by moving these guys up here, and then on a next turn try and attack. It would have to be an overrun at a -2, and I can tell you already these guys will not make it. It's not going to work. They would not be able to survive. So we could barrage this with an airstrike, which is also probably not going to work, but we could try. We could barrage them, let's say, twice, hoping for a good result, and then these guys could come in, but they would also have to move past these ones. So at the moment this area is extremely well defended, so barraging it wouldn't be a good idea. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to barrage these guys. So I'm going to use an airstrike at 3. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So barraging works the following way. You decide which hex you want to barrage, and then you have to calculate. You have a 3, airstrike 3, and for a barrage point of 3, if you roll, so we're going to roll later on, 2 to 7 is a miss, 8 to 10 is a DG result, and 11 to 12 is a DG plus you also lose a step. So the defenders are not entrenched. All units have a morale of 0 or 1. That's not the case. All units, any unit has a morale of 4 or 5. That's also not the case. Forest or mountain, not the case. Target is 1 stacking point. No. Target is 6 or more stacking points. No. Any target unit is DG. No. So we're going to roll. Let's see. And we roll a 4, which is a clear miss. So the barrage didn't work. We can try again immediately. But I think we actually won't. We will attack them again. So again, we take the morale 5. It gets a boost to 6 because of the tank, so we have a +3. We're going to try the ambush. I roll a 6. Wow, this is cool because it means that the ambush was successful. And if the ambush is successful, okay, on a 6, the VM lose 1 step too. That's fine though, so we're going to remove this one. But the French are going to become disorganized and they're going to lose 1 step. So this guy's going to lose 1 step. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be calculate the odds now. So the odds are now 2, 3, 6, 9. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 to 4, that's a 2 to 1. -1 because of the weapon situation. And now these guys are disorganized. When you're disorganized, bad things happen to you. Let's see. In a battle situation, oh, I guess I will actually have to recalculate entirely because, okay, what happens? I just have to check this. Okay, so it doesn't really say, but it means that this unit now has a rounded down morale. Okay, I'm not quite sure if I have to recalculate the morale value. Probably, I will just make a decision now and do it. So this guy has now become DG, so now his morale value is 2, plus 1 for the tank is 3, so now they don't have any positive attributes for their dice rolls. Now I'm gonna roll, and I roll an 8. -1 is a 7. on a 2-1, a 7 on a 2-1 is an exchange. Okay, again. So now we're going to see the attacker rolls a 6, so they become disorganized completely. So the whole stack becomes disorganized, not just this one guy. And the 2-1 roll a 2, so they're not disorganized. So an exchange now means they're not going to retreat and they're going to stand fast, because they're not going to they're not going to retreat, but they're going to lose 1 step. Bop. And these guys also lose 1 step. And this means that the artillery is gone, because they always take the first step loss. And they are DG. Okay, so that is this one. So the French are done. They have no more operations points, and now we'll see how many the Viet Minh get to take 3 steps, 1, 2, 3, and the French get to do 1 step. Okay, it's not too many. So the Viet Minh are now going to do the following. They are going to move these ones here, in here. It's number 1. Step 1. They are going to move these guys over here. Step 2. And they're going to entrench the lot. Removing this, I can entrench 3 areas. 1, 2, and let me see. 1, 2, 3, and I can even entrench these yokes down here, because they're within 3. Yeah, well, let's do that then. So that's it. So I've entrenched them, and I've run out of points. So now it's the French. They can spend 1 point, and they're going to remove the disorganized marker. So let's see what's... The Viet Minh can spend 1 point, and the French can spend 2 points. So let's see what the Viet Minh are now going to do. I said I was going to move south to get these guys here, which I'm going to do now. So that's, 5. They could do, no, they can't do an overrun. They would suffer -2. Okay, that's what they're going to do, and that's it. So now, as the French player, what I need to do is I need to, attacking these ones is now going to be quite difficult, because they're entrenched, their stack is quite high. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. Yeah, so attacking them is going to be quite difficult. These ones are also entrenched, so it's I could actually attack these. I am actually going to attack these guys down here with this stack here, and I'm going to do an overrun, which I can do quite easily, because that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to choose the highest. That's 4 versus 2. That's a +2 -1. And oh yeah, so basically they're gonna get a plus for being on a river. Oh, okay. So on a major river even. Is that a +2 for the defender then? A -2 for the defender. Yeah. Okay, let's calculate the odds. 469 versus 4. 9 versus 4 is a 1-to-1. Okay, let's roll 2 dice. I roll a 5. Oh, that's bad. That's basically a 4. A result of 4. On a 1-to-1 is a oops. Oh dear. That's a double step loss for the attacker. Let's see if anyone is disorganized. Attacker is not disorganized, and the defender isn't disorganized either. Okay, well, the attacker has to make a double step loss. Oh god. Well, that's bad. It's really bad. So this guy only has 1 step, and this guy only has 1 step. So yeah, so they have a... Oh, but these guys were deranged. So their morale value was only 1. It was 2 anyway, so I calculated with a +2, so it's I miscalculated, so they're actually at a 5. Okay, that's better. A 5 actually is a result of exchange and then al. Okay, so this guy, okay, so it stays like this. Yeah, but it still stays the same. Yeah. So this one is an exchange. Okay, so a little bit better, but still the French are going to try again. So it's at a +2. -1, and the odds are 4, 5, 7, 7 to 2. That is a 3-to-1. Okay, that should be okay. 8, 7, 9, 3-to-1. Oh, okay. Very good. Exchange plus DL. Attacker, not disorganized. Oh, yes, disorganized. Okay. Yeah, this guy is gone. So this is actually quite valuable because the Viet Minh have now lost 1 stronghold in the delta. So when we calculate victory points, they have lost 1. So that's quite important. Okay, so we're leaving 1 here in order to make sure that the Viet Minh, simply by moving here, cannot extend and cannot take this particular village by simply extending their zone of control. So that's very important too. So these guys have moved, so that's it, and that's the end of this round. Let's see. The Viet Minh get 1 point. Oh, and they get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. So the Viet Minh will now attack this stack. There's no difference in morale. There's a -1 due to weaponry. There's a -2 for the environment. And the odds are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 versus 4 is a 1-to-1. And I roll is an 8. Oh, that's good. That's a 5. 5 on a 1-to-1 is a XL. Nothing. Oh, yes. And nothing. So yeah, so that was actually quite good for the Viet Minh, for the French. Sorry, very successful. So now it's the French, and we're just going to, for the fun of it, barrage this stack just to see what happens. So. They are deranged. I keep saying DG. I keep seeing DG, and I keep thinking in my head it's deranged, but it's disorganized. I just wonder why it's not called DO. Okay, so we have they're disorganized +1. They're in the mountains -1. Okay, so. Five. Nothing. Miss. So we're not going to do that again. We are going to entrench these guys. Entrench. 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 And our last point we are going to spend doing what exactly? Okay, I have to check one thing, and that is supply. The Thai are in supply. If they're within 3, if they're within 3 hexes of a friendly blue community in the highlands of Vietnam. Okay, so these guys would be in supply. Okay, so I don't... Yeah, but I'm gonna stay there. No, I'm actually going to move back. So that's 3, 6. Oh, sorry, their movement is actually half because they're DG. So yeah, they're not gonna. Yeah, they're gonna go here and that's it. So away from these guys. Okay, so they're done. The Viet Minh now only have 1 point, as do the French. They only have 1 point left. So what they are going to do now is they're going to remove the DG from here, and that's it. And the French are going to do the same. And that's it for this operations phase. Now we have to do the supply phase. So we've just determined that these guys are in supply because they are within 3 hexes of a friendly community in the highlands. These guys are always in supply because they're in Laos, down here as well, they're entrenched. These guys are in Laos, they're entrenched. So these guys are all fine. This guy is within 3 hexes of a supply center, which is here in China. That's fine. They are in the highlands, so by definition they're fine. These guys are out of control. Out of control. Yeah, I wish. These guys are out of supply. Maybe they're also out of control. We don't know. Hopefully not. Where are my supply markers? Up here. Plop. And these guys are all entrenched, so they're fine. This guy is fine because he is within 3 hexes of a supply center. Everybody else is entrenched. The spending one we remove goes away. Blop. Yep. Everybody is fine for supply, which is very good. Which is very, very, very good. Okay, so that's now the end of the first turn, and we're now going to the second turn. So there are no reinforcements, and we'll see how this whole thing pans out. Okay, so that's the Hanoi scenario. Second turn is about to start. I'm probably going to play this off camera. One thing that I would like to say is this game is just awesome. I'm really enjoying this a lot. I think I read somewhere in the rules, for the sake of speed, try not to spend more than 1 minute per operation point. That will keep the operation phase to about 20 minutes. If you can stay within 5 minutes per phase for the other phases, then the game turn will be no more than 45 minutes. I would have to check how much I've filmed already, but I just don't know how you can keep one operations point to 1 minute. Because rolling the dice, I don't know, it would be interesting to time it, but actually I don't really feel that there is a lot of slowness in the game. I think the gameplay is quite fast. Then again, I'm playing it on my own, and I've said in another video, I don't know what it would be like to play this against another person. If, like happened to me in the Cao Bang scenario, there is nothing you can really do because nothing really, you don't have anything to spend your points on. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count not my blessings, but I'm going to count my the areas I control. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? So that's not enough. And in the Highlands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I need 5 more here and I need 3 more here in order to make any difference with regard to victory points. So, yes, these guys and these guys need to die. Yeah, I need to get them out of the way. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching.